Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a new marathon by Michael. Let's take a look into his set list, and also he provided me with an email and and some text. So let's read that. But thank you again, Michael, for sponsoring the video, and thanks to you for being here. Watching. And let's take a look. Let's take a look here what Michael provided us with. So it says here, I took a small break and I'm back with a new marathon I'm calling Jangly Guitars. All these songs feature jangly guitars, and I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna look it up right now. Or melodic guitar lines. Okay, cool. So I'm still gonna look it up. Jangly or melodic guitar lines. It's a fun assortment of songs, some by artists you know, and may one or two, and there may be one or two you might not. Hope you enjoy. All right. So first one, of course, I do know Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is called "The Waiting," and this is from the album Taken. Oh, wait. This is taken from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' fourth studio album. Let's see. It's got a very bird style vibe. Let's see, what is that? That's called Hard Promises. All right. Cool. Then second song by the Reivers, In Your Eyes, from the album Saturday, 1987. I love this band from Austin, Texas, and I've sent you a couple of songs from this album already. This one features vocals primarily from Kim Longgans. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. And as always, features their dual guitar part. So I do remember this, of course. I also remember, I don't know if I remember this specific album cover, but I have to take a better look. It's very small. Then Goodbye by the Sundays. Of course, the Sundays, I do remember them. From the album Blind, 1992. We all love Sundays, these Sundays, with their jangly guitars and Harriet Wheeler's gorgeous vocals. I think this is the first song you've listened to from their second album. The Sundays I've heard of more than once. Let me see. Sundays. Yeah, I remember this album with the stony, almost like what is it called? Yeah, because it looks like a fossil. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. So yeah, I do remember them well. Then Pretty Deep by Tanya Donnelly from the album Love Songs for Underdogs, 1997. My eyes kind of like blinking. I don't know why. 1997 singer-songwriter guitarist Tanya Donnelly was a founding member of the bands Throwing Muses, The Breeders, and Belly, and this is their first solo album. All right. And then last one here, Obscurity Knocks by Trashcan Sinatras from the album Cake, 1990. The debut album from the Scottish band features this single with great lyrics and some great jangly guitar work and a nice build-up. Let's see. These songs will come across as disarmingly simple, but listen to the guitar work. There's a lot going on here, and enjoy. Looking forward to your reaction. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. All right. I'm just gonna do. I'm curious, and I just want to look up the word jangly. Let's see here. Just for myself, I've never really heard that before. Google is like, they totally changed it. Like when you type up something, it now uses, I guess it's always been using AI, but now it actually says AI overview. Jangly is an adjective that means something making a ringing sound, like metal hitting metal. For example, you might describe guitars, bracelets, bars, or folk rock sound as jangly. You can also describe earrings, guitar music, or quartet as jangly. All right. I didn't know that. So it says, like, for example, it now gives you like all these examples. Like, I love the jangly guitars on this album. Okay, I've never used that word in my life before, but again, you know, I'm not from a English speaking country, so there you go. All right, give me just one moment. We're gonna load up the songs and let's go. All righty then, here we go with the first song. Hard Promises, the album The Waiting, Tom Petty. Here we go. Oh, wait. Did I do something here? Nah, it's all good. Okay, here we go. Enjoy. Wow. Okay. Very cool. Like, I know I read you guys the year and everything, but this is, it sounds so like, it's almost like he invented, you know, in the 80s, you know, alternative rock, which is really good, you know. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to start using that word around Alexia, and she's going to be like, you've never said that before, you know, jangly. gonna be like, oh yeah, my guitar, like, don't you think that sounds kind of jangly? And I want to see your face. But yeah, 1981, and it sounded literally like, you know, something out of the 90s, you know, like alternative rock. And I think that jangliness, it comes from, there's a lot of, you know, effects on the guitar, which of course, you know, all of us guitar players do. And I think when he was using distortion, there was a lot of delay, and when he was strumming the guitar, there was a lot of chorus and reverb, and that gives you like that ringing, you know, you let it ring out, you know, like when you step on that, on the, you know, I don't know what it's called, that pedal, the piano, I think it's a sustain, you know, I think that's what it's called. So it gives you obviously a lot of sustain. The whole guitar just sounds sustained by the reverb, because it's so, it's like when you play in a very open space, or maybe I would say not open space, when you play in a place with a very high ceiling and you have great acoustics, and that's when you get that, I think, jangly effect. But of course also heavily using, you know, guitar effects, which is a wonderful thing, you know, thank God we have them. And then when he was playing those leads, it sounded like there was a lot of delay going on, so it's just a lot of sound. So yeah, I guess, you know, I love the song. It was very, like you said, it's simple but great, and it was memorable, you know, and I can see how you can just sing along really easily and just get into this kind of music. And but yeah, Tom Petty has always been very welcoming to me. It's just very good, you know, very good music. All right, so let's listen to more. So I like that, you know, there is a theme that I can pay attention to. It's not just some, you know, some random, I mean, for me, music is never random. I always find something good in it. If somebody tells me, you know, listen to this, I'll pretty much like, well, at the end, I could talk about at least something, you know. But yeah, this was very good. So the Reivers, In Your Eyes, from Saturday, man, In Your Eyes, I love it, you know, because that was our first song we ever did on this channel, but not this one, of course, Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes. And that's pretty much what started the channel. If you want to watch that reaction, you can. And then 1 year later, we reacted to our first reaction. And it was almost the same reaction. It's like, because the first video, we didn't know how to do the whole microphone, the headphones, that you hear the music here while filming yourself. So we're basically just filming ourselves with the audio coming out of the speakers. So it sounds very bad. So we wanted to remake that first reaction by watching us, you know, doing the first video ever. That was a lot of fun. Maybe we should do that again, you know, watching that video of us watching the first reaction. All right, here we go with the Reivers, and let's go. See again, heavy reverb there.
There's something in my
Always holding a
head.
pick.
There's something in my stereo, but I can't stop it. Stop it from happening. There's something in my head. There's something in my stereo, but I can't stop it. Stop it from happening. Oh, oh, it's just a little fear. Oh, oh, it's just a little fear. And I see myself in your eyes.
again, I really love that one. Like, I just like the whole sound of it. Yes, and now I'm getting, you know, a little bit more into the whole. I understand the style. It even says here, it says the Reivers began their existence as Zeitgeist, one of the many melodic jangly pop bands. So jangly, that's just like, I've never heard that before. That's crazy that today is the first day that I ever hear that, you know. Yeah, like not even Alexia has like ever told me, oh, I like that jangly sound on your guitar. But yeah, again, like even the solo when she was doing like the oh wait, it was that like singular guitar line, and she had like this tan tan tan, like this really like weird a delay on there, like a slapback echo, you know. So yeah, I guess I'm getting into it now, you know. I know what this style is, you know. So jangly pop, I just want to look at some bands here. Jangle pop, they call it. Okay, jangle pop is a subgenre pop rock or college rock that emphasized jangly guitars and 1960s style pop melodies. Okay. The term originated from Bob Dylan's song Mr. Tambourine Man, whose 1965 rendition by the Byrds is considered one of the genre's representative works. Oh, okay. Yes, I was just thinking REM. In the 1980s, the most prominent bands in the early indie rock were jangly pop groups, because I was like, this sounds like REM. This sounds like REM. The Smiths. Okay. 1000 Maniacs. Yeah, because I'm like, this sounds like, I wanted to say REM before, and then I said, oh, it sounds like alternative rock, you know, because in the 90s, I guess it happened before the 90s. I think the 90s were just a continuation of that, along with grunge, which is heavier, you know. So, okay, I get it now. So this is like a whole genre. Very cool. I love it. I love that we're doing this. So this one I have not listened to, like, because well, you know, I say I always remember a cover. I do, but I don't think because since I have to go and download the cover and then usually I look at it for a couple of, I wouldn't say minutes, but, you know, at least, you know, I look at it and then I don't forget it. So, but this cover I've never seen. The next one with the baby blind, I've not seen, but the Sundays, when I go on their profile, I've seen them before, and I've definitely done, I've reacted to the Sundays many times. Okay. What's this? Oh, apparently I was listening to Roger Waters on this phone. It's a different Spotify account. But yeah, I was showing Alexis some Roger Waters from the album Radio Chaos. Highly recommended stuff. Okay, Goodbye from the Sundays. Let's see what year this is. Okay, so 92. So 81, 87, 92. So we're moving along in time. And then we have 97. And then the last one would be Cake. 90. Okay, cool. All right. Here's Goodbye. That delay. Yeah. very good. Her singing is so good. Yeah, now I know now, like, the style, you know, it's a lot of repetition, and you know, it is simple, but again, it is kind of like, you know, it's not as simple as it sounds, because that picking pattern, the that's not as easy as it sounds, because he's playing the same notes, but he's like kind of like, I don't know, it almost sounds like a little bit of hybrid picking. I've been practicing it the last couple of weeks now, and hybrid picking is basically, let me I'm sure a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know. So you hold your pick, right? And you pick, but you also use pretty much the pinky. Yeah, you can, but it's too much. Like, and you use these two, and when you play scales, you can get a really cool motion. I know you can alternate pick, you know, very quickly, but it's so much fun to like pick this, you know, one note like this, and then the other note like this, and like that. The lower notes, the higher notes on the string, on the neck. I would say the thickest string you pick with the pick, and then this, if you play like the third string, and then the second, and then the first, and it gives you really cool motion. It's just very, very effective, but also with this kind of like classical guitar style. That's when you get these kind of like chords in motion, like what they were doing literally. Again, a lot of delay, a lot of reverb, but and that's what gets the song going. Sometimes the slapback echo of the first like two notes, doodle-it-in, 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 you know, and then you play over that and you get like this thing going. It's really cool to mess with delay. I remember this guitar player in Florida. He was a good friend of ours. And he basically, all he had was a delay pedal, and he would do like his loops, and he would just mess with delay, and he would play like stuff like, I don't know, like a couple of notes, and those notes would then repeat themselves, and he would play something different. He would play something, wait, and then wait for that notes to repeat themselves and play over them, like almost like playing the harmony. Really cool, like really interesting stuff what you can do with a delay pedal. But yeah, this was really good. I loved her voice, you know, the high register there. The whole thing, I love how it was, yes, it was kind of simple, the chords, and the bass kind of plays over them, you know. The bass is moving the chords. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention how much chords they were playing, or it was just like two. And because of the different repetitions, you know, it sounds obviously that the thing is moving along, but the bass was like kind of like doing more, you know, because sometimes you can, even though it's one chord, you can play four notes over it or five. It depends, you know. So I love that the bass and the drums were like moving along, and the guitar, the guitar was doing something more simple. But like I said, it sounds very easy, but it's not, you know. And then sometimes stuff that sounds super difficult is super easy, you know, like tapping, or, you know, yeah, just a couple of things, you know. It's very, very weird how the guitar works. Sometimes you hear stuff and you're like, oh, that's super easy, I could do that. And then it's actually very, very difficult, and vice versa. It's something, oh, I could never play that. And then it's like nothing. That's just the beauty of music, you know. Okay, so Pretty Deep is the next song by Tanya Donnelly. This is from 1997. But yeah, I now know, if somebody tells me, hey, can you get your guitar a little bit more jangly? I'm like, yeah, I got you. I know what to do. And my guitar, I mean, you know, I don't play a lot. I never practice like rhythm guitar, because You know, that's all I would play before. And now I'm just like constantly practicing like lead guitar. Yeah, lead guitar and yeah, I mean my effects are pretty much I found my tone and that's the one I use and I never really change anything. And but yeah, it took me years and years to find that, you know, of course. Okay, here we go.
Makes a body sink so low, and I sink pretty deep, pretty deep, pretty deep. I sink pretty deep, pretty deep, pretty deep. I wish I carried a camera.
Again, that picking pattern. Dum dum. Oh man, I finally want to figure out how to I've been literally looking for it, like, but then I just forget, for the song to stop, and then it can just like, you relax. It stops, and because here it just continuously keeps playing. I don't know why. We've already did it on the phone. That it just stops, which sometimes is a bummer. When you're driving, you're like, oh, why did the music stop? And here it's like always when it stops, I have to be like on the pause button or play button. But yeah, also again, the patterns of these chords, very simple, but very good. Just beautiful singing and the whole melody. And it's very like, yeah, like he said, like Michael said, it's very full of melody, and there's a lot of sound, it's very full because of a lot of effect, which is, I think, great. I do enjoy playing very, very dry as well when I practice, especially when I practice, because when you have all that effect over on your guitar, then you don't notice any mistakes. Although I even notice mistakes just by the way I'm holding the pick, and when I'm playing, I'm just very careful. And that is something I guess that you do once you've been playing for ages, and you just notice, you would just become clean by default, but I'd always recommend players that start playing, don't use any effect on your guitar, any distortion, because it's just gonna mask, your mistakes, and maybe not just mistakes. There's one thing is making mistakes, and one thing is playing dirty, or one thing is playing very clean. I like to play very clean, and it's just like an obsession. I think it's like just an OCD thing, but I think a lot of guitar players are very OCD about their playing. There's some players that I know, like, and I don't want to say any names, but there's some players that I'm just like, wow, they're so like, it's just like not very clean. It's just very messy. It's like they don't really give, they don't really give too much. They don't really care, and it's just like weird, because I would never do that, It's it's like literally an obsession. It's bad. Okay, so this is the last one, and I'm loving this style, and I can also hear some. I was literally gonna say REM, but I would say maybe also there's some other bands like maybe Alanis, Morrissey. She plays, although a little bit heavier, but there's some songs, I think this is a very 90s or like early like mid 80s 90s just sound, and indie bands just use this a lot, like even bands like Death Cab for Cutie, like, which I love. Alexa got me into them, and there's a lot of the style, like this indie style of guitars, and there's a lot of like effects on the guitars, and I really enjoy it. It's really, really good. So last one is the Trashcan Sinatras. I love that name. And this is Cake, the album Cake from 1990. Obscurity Knocks is the song. Here we go.
Snug as a bug in a mugshot pose.
Very good. This whole marathon. There we go. Yeah, this was also very good. You know, the singing reminded me a little bit of like, I don't know, man. Yeah, a little bit of like Tears for Fears. Maybe no. Tears for Fears is a lot deeper. I don't know, but they're very good, the vocals and just the whole feel. But yeah, it sounded very 90s, of course. But I like that, you know. I mean, I like every, you know, everything that we do, you know, is so interesting because it's just music. This is like music I would have listened to by myself because I don't know it, you know, like at all. And now I can be like, oh man, this would be kind of nice, you know, to put on some like, I mean, alternative. I would have gone with, if I say alternative, I would be like stuff that I knew from before, you know. And this is such a nice thing to be introduced to, like these bands that are from the 80s and 90s, but totally went under my radar because, I mean, back in the 90s, you know, I mean, I was way too young, but I was listening to Guns N' Roses and, you know, what else? Metallica, and the pretty much that was it, you know. I started very, I didn't really listen to a lot of music, you know, when I was younger as a kid. I just had, you know, you have like one band, you know, and then when since we didn't have the internet, you know, you just listen to like, and then I listened to some stuff from my mom. I guess, you know, I was into Pink Floyd in the 90s, you know, because I was very early on, you know, was into Pink Floyd, and I would just grab those CDs that we had at home, you know. So obviously I missed all this when it was actually coming out. And but I do remember some bands like, I guess on MTV, you know, like Radiohead, which is, I mean, yes, it is alternative rock, but it's also, they gotten very experimental in the later years. And now I don't even know how you would like, where you would put a Radiohead. It's almost prog, you know. It's so good. And but yeah, this is really cool because it's a really cool lesson in like 90s music. And it's really like, I really don't know that much, you know. I just know a lot of grunge because friends of mine, you know, were into grunge and stuff like that. And but yeah, this is a cool genre. This is really, really cool to experiment in and experience, and also to kind of like I don't know, this might, you know, make me want to play a little bit different stuff, but for myself, you know, even like when I'm recording, you know, just like you know, like Michael was saying, it's very simple, but it's not really, you know. It's just like, it sounds very simple, it sounds repetitive, but it's not really, you know. There is difficulty to this music, you know, just to come up with the whole, like the intro, and then, you know, the chorus, and there's like a middle section sometimes, and then there's a little bit of a solo. It is really, you know, even though, you know, we listen to all this like super complex music like prog rock, don't think this is not like difficult. It sometimes just playing chords, man. I remember when I started playing music, and I used to play like all these power chords, right? And then people would be like, hey, you know, let's play this, something I would consider like super simple, and then the chords were like, oh my god, this is really difficult. And to arpeggiate, you know, the right way, and to get it down, sometimes even harder, way harder than, you know, than rock or hard rock, you know. So, and even like, it's funny because you listen to bands like AC/DC, and you're like, this is so simple, it's so repetitive, every song sounds the same. but sometimes there's like some licks in there that are really hard to do, you know. Like I was surprised when I started to learn AC/DC, which I considered very like, oh, this must be very, very easy to play, you know, compared to, I don't know, let's say Metallica or Iron Maiden. And then I was like, no, this is actually quite difficult to do. So like I said, sometimes music sounds way simpler than it is, but this is a really cool style of music, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Michael. This was a blast. I hope you enjoyed, everyone. Let me know what you think. Are you into jangly guitars, into alternative rock, you know, from the 80s and 90s? Let us know which songs would you like to listen to. And yeah, let us know in the comment section. Thank you so much, Michael, for requesting this marathon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.